Conversation kept coming up about the needs of our students and feeling like we weren't grasping those needs. We have more mental health needs even as young as kindergarten. We have had kids come in with PTSD, trauma impacted, drug impacted, and we didn't feel like we had anything in place to meet the needs of those students. But I do have a third grade student that was trauma impacted, and he was not accessing class at all. And he sees our student assistance professional, and then also with PBIS, he accessed Tier 3 support. So he has, like a behavior contract, and he has different strategies that he uses in the classroom. He goes to social skills groups, and he has seriously 180. I implemented a student support team. And so basically what that does is bring together the teachers who have concerns about students. They do what's called a request for assistance. And we bring in the parent, and we sit down and we look at SWIS data. So it's school-wide information system. So you look at where they're receiving discipline referrals throughout the day. So what are they struggling with? And he was really across the day. So it didn't matter what location, what time of day, he was struggling throughout the day. So we took data around what the behaviors were like, and then that's what that team is, and then we put interventions in place. But through the SST process, he was able to access the mental health counseling, he was able to access social skills group. We put, a behavior contract in place, so we had a goal sheet every day, incentives he was working toward. So he really had all day long this consistent structure of positive feedback, incentive to turn his behavior around. And it took a few months. It was not like a, overnight thing. In fact, it got worse before it got better, but that's why you stick with it. That's why you have this 6-week period of time where you put interventions in place and continue. And I think the way that our population has changed, our culture has changed, that we need to be providing supports in all of those areas for our students to be successful. But MTSS really provides that framework, that infrastructure for kids to be able to access interventions and supports that they need in all of those areas so that they can be successful. We actually, each year through Project Aware, we've been able to do what's called a TFI, so a tiered fidelity inventory. It's where consultants come in and they review your systems and evaluate where you're at. And part of what they do is they ask students, are you happy at school? Do you feel safe? And what was really cool is that our first year, I think we had 6 out of 10, in which we were like, that's not enough, that's not okay. And our programs were at about 30%. So we were year 1, 30%. We had just gotten started. And then just this last February, we redid our TFI for year 2. We went from 30% to 80% for our implementation, and we had 10 out of 10 kids say, I feel safe at school.